Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah. Great. So, guys, we are in the final session in the Career Advancement Summit. We're very glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're all having a great afternoon. So, I have reserved someone very special for the very end of this session, and this is Sarah Karingi. Sarah is an entrepreneur and a highly awarded entrepreneur, as you'll come to realize. And she's got interest in building and construction, in real estate, in business networking and speaking. And actually, we call her the queen of networking. She is the CEO and director of Sarma Enterprises Limited, Global Networks Investment, Okola International, and also one of the co-directors of Miles Ahead Investments Limited. She serves in various leadership positions, including director in charge of hospitality at the United Kenya Club, and she's also director consultant at BNI. And she's the national chairperson of Global Business Roundtable. She's a member of Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Women in Business Kenya, and Dubai Business Women Council, which is an initiative of the Dubai Chamber. Sarah's remarkable business track record has earned her notable awards. She's a recipient of the Africa Business Excellence Award 2017 from The Voice, based in Netherlands, and the Africa Business Networker Award, courtesy of Innovative Thinkers. In March of 2018, Sarah received the ABTEI Entrepreneurship Award alongside Kenya's First Lady, Her Excellency Margaret Kenyatta, and Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Amina Mohammed. She has authored the book Overcoming the Impossible, where she tells the story of her life and the challenges she's had to overcome to be where she is today. And when all is said and done, Sarah is a loving mom and grandma. She's a committed friend, an adventurer, and a learning enthusiast. So everyone, I would love to introduce you to Sarah. And Sarah, you have the floor.
Wow, thank you very much, Beryl, for that awesome introduction. And I would say that I'm really excited to be here this afternoon. And I believe I'm talking to people that are in business, directors and managers, and probably someone who would be interested in learning how to grow the business through networking as an entrepreneur or as a career person. Now, I'm here to talk about this career advancement. Okay, I'm presenting in this career advancement summit. And my interest really, as Beryl says, I'm in different types of businesses. And before I talk about my businesses, let me first of all talk about myself, because probably you understand why and how I am here. I started as an employee. I worked for the Ministry of Finance for quite a number of years in the 90s, 80s, and then in the 90s, I was taken to Kenya Revenue Authority. I worked for very few years, 3 years. And then afterwards, I had to quit employment because my husband fell sick. He had been in business for so many years. He was doing construction under the company Sarma Enterprises Limited. Then he also went into construction of private homes and other developments. And then he started a company where we were manufacturing doors and frames. All that he was doing so that he could be able to do fit out for people's homes. And then afterwards, he went into farming, and then he also went into hospitality. He put up a guest house. And from there, when I continued working, and then afterwards, he passed on in 2003. So all through, I was working for the civil. I was working as a civil servant. And so you can imagine, of course, working as a civil servant, there's nothing much those days that we were doing. And but I also started working hard, and it was hard for me to get promoted, because as things were or as they are today, you know how corruption is. So I was not really promoted, but I continued working very faithfully. I worked very hard. I helped anybody who came to see me. And this is a trait I would say even up to today I have. And I really thank God for that, and I have nothing to regret about. So afterwards, when my husband passed on in 2006, I was left with so much to take care of my children, to take care of the businesses that was running. He left houses that were not complete because he was in construction, as I said. There were for 4 people, and each house, of course, was at different stages. And of course, not knowing how to do construction and having seen what he was doing, I decided to work with the same people, different architects, contractors, and the same employees. And I worked with them. And though I didn't make so much money, at least I was learning on the job. So I learned to humble myself, and I learned to listen to people. Then afterwards, I started with the first house, I went to the second house, I went to the third house and the fourth house. So all this time I was gaining experience in construction. So that means that today I can do a house from the ground up. And of course, it means that I do that with professionals. And I value professionalism. Then after that, there's this other business where we were manufacturing doors and frames. I continued doing the same and making sure that the business that I was running was very professionally managed. I went for different classes in Strathmore University. I equipped myself with entrepreneurship skills. And because of that, I realized that I needed to work not as alone, but to get the right people to work with me. So I engaged professional auditors. I got a professional lawyer because there were things that were coming in my life. I was being taken to court by different people. I got a very good auditor who was able to help me to wade through the tax. Though I still worked in Kerry, but I made sure that, of course, I paid all the taxes. If you want to be right in business or in your career, you have to make sure that you pay what belongs to Caesar. And that is what exactly I did. Then afterwards, of course, I was also taking care of my family. My husband had left quite a huge loan, which I had to fight with the banks, try to convince them that I could pay. But it was not as easy. But blessing God, through people, I was able to go to Mwangi through a friend. That is the CEO of Equity Bank. And he was able to help me to pay that loan over a period of time as I continued to maneuver the businesses. Then afterwards, I continued learning. As I've said, I'm a learning enthusiast. I continued learning and I was able to scale my businesses to a higher level. Then, since we manufacture doors and frames, I decided to keep on changing the business. I brought trainers to train my employees. And then afterwards, one day, on a Sunday, my business was set on fire and I lost over 20 million worth of goods. That is stocks and raw materials. So I had to start all over again. I was still building, so you can imagine all that. It was not easy, but I had to believe that it was possible to do it. And of course, out here, people normally discourage you. They tell you it's not possible, that, you know, as a widow, you cannot manage this or you cannot do that. But as a believer, I believed in myself. I kept reading the word of God and I got really, really encouraged, and I would keep telling myself, Sarah, you're not a failure. And then I was also reading books because I love reading. So I came across a book that said, winners don't quit and quitters don't win. Then I asked myself, Sarah, are you a winner or a quitter? I said, yes, I am a winner and I have to keep on winning. Many times I would fail, but I would keep on trying again and again until I succeeded. Now, how did I find myself getting the awards I got? Or how did I find myself changing? And how did I find myself developing? One thing I would like to encourage each and every person that is listening to me is that, because I also take you through the presentation, is to learn to be humble, is to learn to be persistent, is to learn to persevere, and to know that nothing comes easy. And even if there are voices out there that tell you that because there is COVID, now the world has come to an end. Do you know something? The end of one journey is the beginning of another journey. So you have to really be determined. You have to be focused. And focus, as Kiyosaki says, is following one course until successful. And as I continued reading the books that helped me to grow and change, I realized I needed to really focus. So I don't have to do so many things, but at the same time, I can do those many things, but I help other people to do them for me. And then, of course, definitely at the end of the day, credit will come to me. But at times, we fear to share responsibility. At times, we tie ourselves thinking that when I do something, I'm the perfectionist. Show others the way. As a leader, as a manager, as a director, you need to lead and lead the right way. How do you do it? Number one, you have to know that a leader knows the way. After knowing the way, he needs to walk the way. So whatever you tell people, make sure you walk that way. And a leader shows the way. So you know the way, then you have to show the way. After showing the way, now what you need to do is to keep on checking to see whether your work is being done right. And if it is not being done right, then show this person how to do it. Allow them to ask you questions, not shouting at people, not showing them how stupid they are, but become a very good listener. And when you keep on showing people how to do something, it becomes so easy for you even to run 2, 3, or 4 companies because you have already empowered somebody. Now, I'll come straight to tell you how now I became a professional networker. In 2010, as I said, my business was set on fire and it was on a Sunday. After losing so much, I had to go back again and start working on my machines. Some people are telling me, you know what, Sarah, why do you have to waste your time working on machines that cannot be repaired? But I realized these people wanted me to sell my machine so that I could close down. And because they're the same people who had set my business on fire. And then someone asked me, why didn't you sue those people? I said, I came to know about the person who set my business on fire after 2 years. I had already reset my business again. It was once more on its feet running. But of course, customers had run away. Our suppliers were not sure that would continue with the business, but slowly by slowly, and by trusting God, my business came back on its feet and we were able to move on. But customers were not there. They are not sure that we would still be able to make the same goods because I would run a machine, it would break, I go back again, so you can imagine the losses. But the moment you treat people well, if it is customers, if it's employees, if it's it may be friends, a few of them will come back and help you. So the person who was selling to us materials, say raw materials, others were selling to me spare parts for our business, was able to encourage me and tell me to just go. I pick as many spare parts for my machines as possible because we had supported him all many years, all the ways from 1996, because that is the age of our business. And he gave me those goods on credit. So you can imagine, if I was not loyal to him, he could not have given me this support. So he encouraged me and told me to keep on going back, and then I pay him as and when I was able to pay. So he's one of those people who worked with me and I was able to raise my business again. Now the problem was now marketing. So where was I going to get new business, people to buy from us? So a friend of mine, and I value friends and valuable friends, encouraged me to go to a certain organization called Business Network International. I joined there. I became a member. I took time. And that is why, as business people, I would encourage you to be very, very patient, but you continue pushing yourself to achieve. So I sat there, I stayed there for 2 years. I never received any single cent. But what was people asking me, why do you have to stay in a place or an organization that is not giving you money, yet you are giving them a lot of business and a lot of referrals? I said, you know what? I am learning. This is a learning period, so I have to be patient. So I continued learning, and I became so professional in networking to a point where I started receiving quite a number of awards. So I won quite a number of awards, like what Beryl has read for you. I continued learning. I continued going to the University of Strathmore, which I find to be a very professional university. I continued equipping myself with entrepreneurship. I continued receiving awards within the country and without the country. And then after that, I continued mentoring other people who were joining Business Network International. Then afterwards, I realized that Business Network International is for people who are established in business with business 5 years and above. Then I asked myself, Sarah, you who knows how to network? You have received so many awards. You have this skill and you are doing it so well. Then why can't you train other people? That is when I started now training people on how to network. So I have sessions where I train people how to network. I have showed them how to get referrals. I have showed them how to communicate. I show people how to present themselves in front of people and how to pitch. And I thank God that I have been able to help people both online and offline. When I talk of online, if you go to social media, you go to Facebook, you go to LinkedIn, where Beryl found me, I share quite a number of things on business networking. And then with entrepreneurship, I also share some things about entrepreneurship. And because I know today we are supposed to be online, I have also been going for classes to learn how to do online marketing. So I sit with a team that have been helping me to work with my business. I've also involved my children who are young. Right now, I'm 60 years old. But my mind is not for a 60-year-old. I would say my brain is for, like, say, 35 years old up to 40 years old, not 50, because I know so many things. I've learned how to use the network. I know how to use online marketing. I know digital. I am also doing cryptocurrency. I'm doing blockchain technology. And because of that, it means that I'm someone who is always ready to learn from people. And I've shaped myself a lot with young people, because young people today, I can see what they have, which I don't have. So they empower me, they mentor me, and as I mentor them. So allow me now to come to our presentation. And thank you very much for even listening to me. I think you have seen who I am. I call myself the Queen of Networking because I have also authored certain books. I have co-authored a book with the most professional networker in the world by the name of Dr. Ivan Meissner, who is the founder of Business Network International. He allowed me to, I met him in Miami. I traveled all the way to Miami to meet him. I met him in a cruise ship. That was in end of 2018. And I wanted him to mentor me on networking, because you see, when you want something, you work so hard to get it. So I went to see him. I met him in a cruise ship because I knew it was much easier to meet him there. And he really mentored me. And I told him I have authored 2 books, one which is called Overcoming the Impossible, that is the story of my life. Then I also told him that I've written another book. I had carried them, what professional business networkers do. And then the third book, he told me, I'm going to allow you now to co-author a book with me, which is called What is in Your Room. So in brief, that is now Sarah Karingi. And so please allow me now to go to my presentation. What is business networking and why is it important? Business networking, it is not multi-level marketing as many people think. Business networking is not where people just meet places and they have a nyama choma, or they have a drink, or they just socialize. Business networking is a skill, and it is the process of meeting, connecting with, and establishing mutually beneficial business relations. Now, what this means is that you have to meet people. So you cannot just sit at home and think that you are doing business. You cannot say you are connecting with people. Today, we are lucky that we are able to meet. You don't have to meet people physically. Right now, we are connecting with you. We are meeting. I'm meeting you, but I'm meeting you online. And then I'm connecting with you. And then when I connect with you, what should I do? What value should I give to you? That is what is networking. I should not focus on what is in it for me. So if we all said what is in it for me, then who would do it for others? So it means that we have to connect with people and try to select the people that you work with. And then you establish a relationship that is very stable. You have to create very strong foundations so that you can succeed in business, because as the Swahili say, watu ni mali. So if you are not able to empower others, how do you expect to be empowered? So you have to know how to relate with employees. You have to know how to relate with government officials. You have to learn to relate with suppliers. You have to know to relate with the people that you meet in the gym. Don't never assume anybody, because you never know the connections that they have. So you have to know how to relate. It's all about relationships. And then networking is not about collecting contacts. Networking is about planting relations. This was said by Misha Art. Now, let me just give you a small short story. One time, I went to, I'm a member of business, of Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and there's a time, a couple of years back, I think it was in 2015, they invited us to go and meet people from outside. They had brought investors from Dubai, from wherever, different parts of the world. And then when we met, my work, what I did, I quickly took my cards and I went dishing out to people, thinking that I was going to get business from them. but that is the wrong way of networking. So what I did, I went then later after one day and I gave them a card. I wrote them emails telling them who I was and what I would expect them to do for me. Unfortunately, I had sent about 400 emails. You can imagine all that effort. But unfortunately, I never got any reply. And the message that came back to me was that I've seen what you do. Imagine what a shame. Now, it is not about collecting contacts. Once you collect contacts, it is not bad to collect contacts. But what do? You are supposed to get in touch with that person, go through their website, try to understand what they do, and then send them an email and tell them, Mrs. Karanja or Mr. Karanja, it was so good meeting you this particular day. And I have actually checked your website and I've seen what you do. And I think I would like to meet you so that I can see how I can connect you with my contacts. Or I have seen my website and honestly, I have seen it is amazing. I would like to know more about what you do. Then you engage them. That person, anytime maybe you feel that you want them to help you, they'll be willing to help you because they've seen you are not selfish. So in short, that is what networking is. Then we are supposed to network like professionals. Now, borrowing from Dr. Ivan Meisner, he says networking is all about mindset plus skill set, which is critical for successful networking. So when you go to network, it is a mindset skill. You have to have this skill that helps you to think positively, that I have to help other people so that I can also get something. The mindset is made up of several approaches, and these approaches are, number one, the law of reciprocity. It is the giver's gain. Don't just focus on yourself. Unfortunately, that is how I think most of us have been brought up, that this is mine. And that is why you see when people are given responsibility, or say like they are politicians, all they have to think about is how much can I amass for myself. But if you look at leaders, people who know what they are doing, they know people will build them or lift them when they support or help others. So take all focus on what you are to gain, but rather what you have to offer. When you give, when you serve, and this is something which I know you people know. Look at those people who serve in mosques. Look at those people who serve in the church. Everybody knows them. So anytime they ask for help, you see them coming to be helped. Look at even people who are in your estate, people who are leaders. When they see something is not right, they are there to help. They give their resources, they give their time, they give their, then they bring other people to come and help, maybe the estate, maybe get something with his water, with his roads. And then anytime they call someone to help them, people come in numbers to help them. So you can imagine yourself now as a business leader. You are there, you have been supporting people, you have been mentoring people. Anytime you ask for help, you see people helping you. I said when I stayed in Business Network International for 2 years, I never received business. Today, I have learned so much. That is why you can see I became a public speaker after some time because I pushed myself. I came to learn how to do public speaking. I learned how to communicate. And then I learned so many other things that have helped me to grow to a point where I've become a professional networker and a professional public speaker. Now, the other law is the diversity in networking. Another approach for mindset or skill set is diversity in networking. Why should you hang out with people from the same industry as you? You are all in search of the paths. Now, at times we think that when we just work, say like now I'm in construction, that the only people I can work with are only people in construction. Why? Because maybe I feel comfortable. Come out of your comfort zones. Go to those other people who probably you go to places where you find people doing different things. Go like, for example, to a golf club. A golf club is composed and comprised of many people from different fields. You find there are some who are contractors, others are teachers, others are lecturers, others are engineers. You find others who are maybe online marketers. And when you meet with those people, they have skills that you don't have. Once you share with them, you'll be able to support one another. And then there's the other approach, which is farming mentality. We know who farmers are. Farmers focus on the cultivation of the crops in order to yield good results. Networking is not an overnight process, but one that needs to be gradually nourished. So if you look at farmers, and I respect farmers a lot, they never give up. They think through, they know they have to prepare their grounds. So for you as a leader, do you prepare your business properly? Do you have a ground where you feel that now, and the ground is probably the resources that will make this business to succeed? You are left there as a manager. How do you take care of the resources that are in there? Do you take care of your employees? Do you listen to the problem they face? Do you even really fear that maybe there's somebody who knows more than you? And so you fear that if you promote them or say that probably this person can do something that I cannot do, do you feel like probably these people will be ahead of me? And so you try to press them down because you want to be the shining star? No. So as a farmer, we see you have to cultivate. And in cultivating the crops, you make sure that you remove the weeds that are not good. So what is in your life as a leader that you know doesn't go well in that organization or in yourself as you are in your life? Do you listen to people when they criticize you, or do you shout at them and make them maybe feel like you should never correct me? Do you allow yourself to be corrected? Because when you are quiet, in that quiet place, do you ask yourself, I was told something by someone, is this me? Or do you also ask your very close friends to and critique you and tell you, you know what, you have a hot temper. So if you have a hot temper, how does it affect your business? Or are you one person who listens? Are you a mentor? Do you also allow yourself to be mentored by even other people, even if they're your employees? Do you listen to them critically and then you see what you can do? So as a farmer, you have to remove anything in your life that you know is not going to allow other people to go or even to grow the business. Then you have to make sure that, of course, as a farmer, we remove anything that, of course, is going to eat up our crops. We have to make sure that, of course, our crops well watered. So you have to water the people that are working with you. How do you do it? Make sure that probably you give them motivation. And at times people don't stay in organizations because of the money that they receive. No, people stay in organizations just because of small things. A salary will not make an employee to really stay. But do you appreciate them? Do you even tell them thank you for the work well done? Do you even also tell them that, okay, there's this training which I'm going to bring to you and you're not going to be charged for the training? Do you also maybe probably even take them out of that organization, take them to another similar organization to understand what happens or to compare themselves with what happens out there? When you take care of your garden, the garden will produce a very good yield. These people will come out from wherever they go, they'll be marketers for that organization. They'll go, they come up with great ideas, which they'll bring to the organization, making the organization to grow. So it is up to us as business leaders, as managers, as directors, to know that we have not only to think about ourselves, because we are also dying or we are moving. Maybe you also want to move from that organization and move to the other one. Do you now then, when we empower people, leave them to run that organization as you think about something else? Right now, I'm running a number of organizations. At the club, United Kenya Club, I come at the club and I make sure that it is running very well. That is my docket, which is hospitality. And I have empowered my daughter to run our businesses. She runs the finances, she runs the purchasing department. She makes sure that everything in that organization is running. And even when she's not there, there are structures, making sure that, of course, everybody who works in that organization knows what they're supposed to do. So that is why we have to be like farmers. We have to have a farmer's mentality who takes care of his crops or his farm properly. So let's all think positively like a farmer. Let's take care of our farms so that it can give us very good yields. Now, I think you can see that lady there. Who is she? She's a farmer. What is she doing? You can see tomatoes, which she's taking care of. She's actually pruning, and she's even trying to put them straight and tying them on that piece of wood that you can see there. And then she's removing anything that is not good so that she can be able to, of course, get good yield. So in short, if you look at this lady, she's very focused. Look at her face. What is she looking at? She knows what she wants. So you as a leader, are you like this? Are you wearing the right attire? When you go to work, do you wear a branded garment such that even everybody in the organization will say, though this person is our director, she's also identifying with us because she has worn a garment like ours. These are small things, but they mean a lot. Do you brand yourself? Have you branded your business? So you can see she has branded herself and called herself a farmer. she has worn the right garments, and then you can see what she's doing, making sure that there are no weeds. So you can even see some of these tomatoes here, some of them are ripe. I'm sure she's going to remove the ones which are ripe and leave the ones which are not ripe, of course, unless you give them time. So do you give your farm time to, of course, breathe? Do you give your employees time to just go, and when they come and tell you they are not able to continue with work, maybe they have a problem, maybe they are going through something, are you keen to see the problem that this employee has? Now, we go to the next part of our slide, the do's and don'ts on networking. Now, there are so many things that we do, some we do right, others we don't do right. And if we want to succeed as networkers, and networking is not only for business people, it's also for career people. We make very many mistakes, and at times we don't know why and how we make these mistakes. Now, number one, how should we network? Number one is L and L, that is L and L stands for listening and learning. We have to know how to network by listening. When you listen to people, without talking or interfering, you'll be able to listen to them and probably hear their complaints, then know how to go about the problem that they are complaining about. The other thing that you need to do is, of course, also to make sure that when you listen, you are able to, if it's maybe you listen to complaints from your customers, you'll be able to know what they want. You can also engage them. And then when you listen to them, you'll be able, if it is maybe the packaging of a product, they say, no, we don't like this color, we'd like it in this shape. Then you do an interview and maybe try to see what they would want. So when you listen, you're able to learn a lot of so many things, but you should never interject when someone is either complaining or saying that, or throwing tantrums. Through listening, you're able to learn a lot of so many things. The L and L means listening and learning. Then the other one is follow up. When you hear that maybe probably someone has, you have sent someone to do something, do find out why they have not been able to do something. What is it that has made you not to do one thing or the other thing? So once you do business with somebody, try to find out, if it's a referral you have given to somebody, find out if there's any hiccup, and then you can come in and help. Because you see, the moment you follow up, or you have been given business by somebody, and then probably you don't follow up, nobody will come and follow it up for you. So you have to make sure that you follow up, and you follow up properly. You can either call someone and ask him, how far have you gone, or what is the problem, you are stuck here or there, and then this person will be able to explain the problem, and then you'll be able to get good feedback. So once you get then feedback, what should you do with the feedback? If it is good feedback, you'll be happy. Say, for example, you have given Sarah a referral, and then you are calling her to find out how far the referral has gone. Then, if maybe she tells you, I got this problem, or I got stuck in this particular area, so then that what that means is that you can call now the person that you have been connected with, so that you can be able to know exactly what the problem was, and then if you are the connecting person, then you'll be able to come in and help. Then you find that there are many people who, once they do business with others, they don't even give feedback. They never say what exactly happened. That is the wrong way of networking. Now, the quid pro quo is was a quid pro quo for their help in releasing hostages. That is a favor of advantage granted in return for something. So if someone comes and a very good example is any individual business or other entity should know what is expected of both parties to enter into a contract. That is a bartering arrangement between two parties in an example of quid pro business agreement. So in that case, it means that anytime that you do something with somebody, then you of course have to give good feedback. Then don'ts of networking, that is, don't sell on first contact. Once you meet someone, you should not sell on the first time, and that is what usually happens, and especially at a time like now when there is this COVID-19. what people do is that quickly they want to sell a product without even trying to understand someone. I'm not saying selling is bad, no. Sell, but sell the right way. First of all, try to understand what people's needs are, listen to them, and then when you know there's a need, like now, of course, people needed sanitizers a couple of weeks back, or a couple of months back. Others wanted, say, masks. We have seen so many masks that are being done and they are branded. So if you hear someone saying that he wants a branded item, that is when we're supposed to do what? We're supposed to send them a branded garment. Now, the reason why I don't sell on first contact, nobody likes to be sold to. You can imagine we are meeting people for the first time, and the first thing that you do, even without trying to understand who they are and whether they want your item, you're there telling them, I have this comb, and I would like you to buy it from me. Nobody likes to be sold to. If you want to sell an item, the first thing that you should do is to introduce yourself and what you do. And probably you can say for how long you have done it. And if you have samples, you can even say, this is a sample of what I manufacture or I sell. That you psychologically, now that person will be getting interested in what you have. Then they will pick the item, they look at it, and they're like, wow, I think I can even buy from you. But if you place it on the table and tell him, I would like you to buy this particular item from me, and this is your first time, I'll immediately resist. Then don't be afraid to introduce yourself. Many times when we go to meet people, we fear a lot. We don't like introducing ourselves, and that is where we go wrong. You have to introduce yourself. That's how people will know you. Because you can imagine, you are there as a brand, and you yourself, of course, you are representing your brand. You are meeting people are introducing themselves, but you are there. Either you fear, or you start thinking that what would people think about me? Or you start thinking that maybe someone is looking at me because I don't look good, or maybe my hair is not well done, or I don't have clean shoes. And at times they're not even looking at you. So first of all, when you meet people, introduce yourself, and introduce yourself professionally. Just say, your name is XYZ, I run this kind of business, or I work for this particular organization. Talk about your title, what you are, but of course don't brag. Say, I have been the CEO of Safaricom for the last 20 years, and I have transformed this business from maybe this size to this particular size. When I joined Safaricom, I had the turnover of, say, it is a business was 300 million, but today I have turned it to 1 billion Kenya shillings. Yeah. Then don't be afraid to ask questions. What it means by asking questions is, assume maybe you have already started talking to another business person, and you have listened to his story. He has told you that this is what he does, and he has been going through certain challenges, and he has tried looking for solutions, and he doesn't know what to do. So don't fear to ask that person, can I be of help to you? Because I know someone who can help you to overcome these challenges. So never fear to ask, or if it's on your part, if someone maybe probably asks you a question, be able to answer and answer properly. If it's asking a question and you don't understand, ask the person, I do not understand what you meant. Can you make it a bit clear so that I can see how I can come in and help you? And then, as a networker, never expect instant results. For example, there are times we go out, we meet people, and then they promise that they will do business with us. It can take 1 year, 2 years. I came across someone who I met, I think 6 years ago. And then once in a while, I would call him just to say hi to him, find out how he is and how his family is. And then he kept telling me, Sarah, don't worry, I'll give you business. I never pushed him to give me business. Then we continued like that. And then last year is when he gave me business worth, I think, 1.8 million Kenya shillings. So if I wasn't maybe patient enough, I could just have said, I would dismiss him and say, after all, this man is not giving me business. So why should I bother calling him? It's not just about money. Never show people that you are interested in them just when you are out to gain from them. Call people, find how they are faring. Go through maybe your contact list. Look at the people that you used to school with. Imagine there are some ladies I schooled with in primary school, and we met online on our WhatsApp group, and I started engaging with them. I shared things which are positive online, and 2 of them have bought from us goods worth so much money. Why? Because they see what I share, Then they see, once in a while, I would say, today I'll call 10 ladies from the group, I engage them, I find out where they work and how they do it. And then one of them also helped me to connect a friend to take her child to Alliance Girls High School. You see, it's not me who benefited, but a friend of mine benefited because of my relationship with these people. So results may not be instant, but they will take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and 3 years. Then there's another lady who also stayed in a certain organization, and then she got connected and she got business over 200 million. You can imagine that patience pays. She kept engaging them. She kept talking to them. She would be called to go and serve. She would go and serve without even asking for anything. And then one lady just connected her to a business which was worth over 200 million was our contract. Then don't become a card dispenser. I've just said how I used to dispense my cards. And then I got embarrassed. Imagine going to print so many cards. You meet about 400 people. You dish out to them. You don't even care to know who they are and the businesses that they are doing or their careers in which they are. And your interest is just to give that card, thinking that you are doing business. That is the wrong way to do business. So you have to really be very careful when you are giving a business card to someone. First of all, take time, listen to them until they ask you for a business card. Don't be quick to dish out your business card, because at the end of the day, it is actually thrown away and people don't bother. Then avoid arriving late to meetings. As Africans, sorry to say, as Kenyans, we know how we are. We do not respect time. For example, I came quite early to make sure that Beryl was comfortable. I didn't want her to start looking for me everywhere. So what she did, I communicated with her in the morning. I told her not to be worried, that I would come and do my presentation. Then I made sure that I came early to connect and make sure that, of course, this training was going to be on time. You can imagine if I was starting like 30 minutes late. I'm already sweating, I'm panicking, I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about. So you always have to get to a place early. If you are called to a meeting, please don't arrive late. I would rather you arrive 10 minutes early so that you are ready for the meeting, and so that, of course, when you meet someone, you'll be very relaxed. A friend of mine, I remember one time, told me how he lost so much money. And in fact, even I'll mention his name because I think he's not ashamed even when he shares. And this is Mr. Washuri of Optiven. Mr. Washuri is a very good friend of mine. And one time I had called him to speak in one of my forums. And what he said was, you know what, people, when you arrive late, you lose so much. I got late to a meeting by only 5 minutes, and I lost business worth 5 million Kenya shillings. Imagine that. So when you arrive late, then of course you can imagine what you miss. Now, time is a resource. Everyone can control, so don't be late. So we all know that we have been given 24 hours, and how we spend our time is what matters. What do you do with those 24 hours? So you can manage time, but don't let time to manage you. You have to be in control of that time. So you have to wake up early, prepare early, and then, of course, make sure everything you do as a leader, as a manager, you are on time. Because, of course, when you are late, things don't go right. So be in control of time, because time is a resource, and once it is gone, and you may never recover it. Then, you are never fully dressed without a smile. One of the things that I have trained myself to do, and that is what many people know me for, is smiling. One time, I was called by Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industries to go and take my goods at the International Conference Center. We were doing some displays there for our products. There was this man who just came. He was very tall, and there were very many people who were listening to what I was selling. We had very, very unique doors. And then he looked at me, and then he said, you know what, madam? I'm going to buy from you because you have a good smile. I felt so good, and from that time I said, I'll always smile. So when you are dealing with people, even if they're your employees, even if they are customers, even if they're your friends, even people in this club, know who is the lady who smiles a lot. So I was smiling at strangers because it's like opening a door for people to come to you. But you see, when you are so hard-faced, people will tend to move away from you. I've received a lot from people because I smile at them. I make them feel very welcome around my space. And that way I've been able to win many people to my life, many people who have helped me, and I have also been able to connect them a lot. So please be dressed always with a smile. Then I think you can see that image there. You can see a man there who is you. You can see many others. You can see all those people who are connected to you. Say, for example, you are an interior designer. An interior designer who, of course, will also need so many other people around him so that people can light his life. So he will need an architect, this person, because, of course, before he becomes an interior designer, you need an architect who probably will come and tell him what he's supposed to do. Yeah, you have built a house, and then there will be someone to do electrical works and all that. And then from there, this interior design, of course, has people who sell fabric. There are people who sell the thread, of course, for knitting or doing whatever they are doing. Then the interior designer also needs somebody else who will be able to help him to either design the room. Others will come and work on the lighting. So all these people you see here are people who come into your life. Then we can also turn this drawing the other way and say, you have been able to help so many people in their lives such that these people have given you light in your life. So there's one person who has given you mentorship, another person has encouraged you, another person has connected you to a referral, another one has also helped you to connect with an interest, maybe like he introduces you to a golf club or a Rotary club. Another one will also lead you to church so that, of course, your faith can, of course, be improved. And then all these other people, of course, these are people, maybe a family member who has connected you, maybe for one or two things. So in short, what this means is that as a person, you cannot live alone and you cannot succeed alone. You need people to encourage you, to work with you, to show you the way. Others will correct you. They will tell you the way you are doing things are not right, or you are a leader. You need quite a number of managers to work with you and make sure that, of course, the organization runs very well. So it's important for you to always relate with the right people. Those people who are not good, get rid of them, because when you have a dark spot in your life, then it means you cannot succeed. So let us choose the right people to work with us. Let us, of course, also lift other people so that they can bring light into our lives. Now, the power of networking. Why do we network? Many people are saying, me, I don't need to network because either I'm shy to network, or I cannot network because I think I know so much, or why do I need people? But you know what? Things are changing. Right now, this COVID-19 is there. But can I tell you that my business is running even when others are saying that there's no business out there. Why? Because I've really networked with a lot, with so many people. Those who are below me, those who are above me. I've been to one of the highest offices in this country, and I was taken by a few friends. And then there are others also who are below me, even chokoras. I talk to them very nicely. People on the road, and they have also connected me with something because they tell me what is happening, and I get to know. If it is those chokoras, of course, I remember one time I had left some money in my car. And one chokora just saw my car was open, and he came and told me, you know what, ma'am, you have always taken care of me and my friends here. And I saw there's something you left in that car, but I decided to stay here until you come back. Imagine a chokora. Once you relate with people, whether they are at a high rank, a low rank, or whatever level, they will help you. So the reason why you need to network is that people can build you, and they can protect you, they can take care of you. So we network to increase our brand and our sales visibility. Now, let me also say one thing that many years back, that was before I became a professional networker, I didn't know about the power of visibility. I never used to brand myself, and that's why I decided to call myself the Queen of Networking when I became very good at networking. So many people even don't know my name, but they know me by Queen of Networking. And so that is now my title. Then my businesses, I made sure now all our businesses now are online. We have 3 businesses which are they are big. They're not very big, but they are still big. And I've decided to work with my daughter. So you go online, you find some enterprises there, you find some water supplies on Facebook, and then you find some guest houses on Facebook, Sarah Karingi is on Facebook, and every time I'm making myself visible. Now, one company which I know everybody in this country knows is Safaricom. Look at Safaricom, look at the color. That it is so unique. Anywhere you go, I see a green, I think it's Safaricom. They've made themselves known. You open your phone, you see, of course, M-Pesa, so you know that it's Safaricom. You go to the village, you see, of course, they are advertising themselves. You go everywhere, any corner in this world, I mean, in this nation, Safaricom is there. I would like to ask you a very simple question. How visible are you as a person or as an organization? Are you known by people? And if you are known, how are you known? Is your visibility good or bad visibility? When you go to church, wherever you go to worship, do you participate? How do people know you? As a proud person or a humble person or a person who serves? So you have to make sure that you are visible and you are known. Let people know you. Even when you are told by your pastor to introduce yourself, don't be ashamed to say who you are and where you work. That way, you'll be increasing your visibility and that will help you to grow your business or grow your career. Then, the power of networking, again, is it is a platform to share and exchange information. Many times, you go places and you just keep quiet. You don't even share anything you know. Nobody knows what you do. And so when you keep quiet, people even may not be able to teach you. That means they may not be able to connect you for business. So you have to be very good when it comes to sharing information or asking information, exchanging information with other people, asking them how they are running their business or how maybe technology is affecting them. Then it's a platform that provides one to learn from competitors. Find out even from your employees what is happening. How is a company that is doing like us performing? Then also meet those competitors. See whether you can collaborate with them. Who say that you cannot work with them? Many times I have collaborated with my competitors and we work very well because probably I don't have an item they have and I tell them just supply. They supply, and then from there, if they don't have an item, I also supply, or we agree we are going to do a project together. So I don't look at them as my enemies. I actually my competitors because I also learn a lot from them. Then it's also a way to increase your knowledge through your customers. Knowledge of your customer is also very important, or through your customers. They come and tell you what they want, what they have seen, and what they expect to be done by you. So they give you a lot of information which also grow you. Your customers are very important because they bring income to you, they bring knowledge to you, they help you to expand your business, and they also support you. So it is also important for you to have knowledge of your customers so that you can be able to make for you, give them value, what they want. So you have to learn to listen to them. Then the other thing, it's a form of market research. When you network, when you get information from outside, that will help you now to know how and where you will take your business. So you have to keep on listening to people. You have to keep on knowing, of course, now with the information you have received, it is a good way to even do more research, because probably if one customer comes and tells you something new, another one comes and tells you the same thing, another one comes and tells you something different, then that's a way of knowing that now you should be ready to change and grow your business according to what the customers want. Now, how do you network? Number one, never say that you never attend events. Of course, you have to know the events that you have to attend. Like now you decided to come for this webinar because probably you have a relationship with Beryl. And so you decided because Beryl is my friend, she must be calling me for something good. And so I have to come and listen. So you have to attend networking events. Why? Because in a networking event, you find some people maybe who are being called, say they are speakers. They have a certain skill that you don't have. They have a knowledge that you don't have. And when they speak, you get something. So you have to take notes. You have to understand, yes, when I meet somebody, you should have a notebook or you can write on your phone. And then from there, of course, when you network with people, there are people who have different skills, there are people who have different knowledge. There are people who, of course, are above you. And Dr. Ivan Meissner, who is the founder of BNI, says that we should network up. What networking up means is relate with people who are above you in one thing or the other. What I mean by being above you is someone who has a knowledge that you don't have. Probably like today, someone will ask me, Sarah, how do I do a screenshot? You see, I was thinking she knows a lot, but she asked me how she can do a screenshot, then she can be able to forward that screenshot to somebody else. And I showed her. So you see, in that case now, I was above her, but I was able also to show her what to do. Then I also asked her, how she can help me with something else, which we sat down, we took about 10 minutes learning from one another. So once you attend such events or when you meet different people, always be ready to learn. Then the other thing where you can network is to join networking forums like Rotary Club, golf clubs, or Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industries, or Women in Business, or even other networks, even online. Look at groups that are online. On LinkedIn, we have different professional groups online. Maybe it's people who do the same kind of businesses. They are either interior designers, or they are architects, or they are quantity surveyors, or they are doing a certain skill together. So they sharpen one another. So the moment you join such networks, you learn so much, and then you also save a lot of money. That is one thing, that is one reason why we need to network, because you don't have to keep on paying money to be able to know something. You have to ask people, the people who you know something that you don't know. So you can save a lot of money by connecting with people who know. Going to Chamber of Commerce and Industries, maybe you want to know how to export. So they have that information. Join the chamber, go there and ask them, if I want to export things to UAE, what am I supposed to do? And you'll be directed there. So there's a lot of information there, which at times you may not be able to get them online. Then exposure through social media. Look at what social media is doing. Right now, we are connecting on social media. We are connecting on the internet. Before, we always used to train in a space, so we are saving a lot of money. So you need to, this exposure, you have to learn a lot of social media. And how do you use social media to your advantage? Do you use social media just to gossip? Do you use social media to grow your business? How do you market yourself when you go to Facebook? How do you market yourself when you go to LinkedIn? Do you also comment on people's comments? Maybe say someone asks you to please tag your friends. I have this e-flyer. Can you please tag your friends to what I have given to or posted to you? Because many times, some people are just jealous and they think that when they promote others, they'll be demeaning themselves or they'll be growing others. Imagine if we all grew one another, how we would be. We would grow and become very resourceful people. So expose yourself to social media. Many years back, I remember I used to look at my daughter and I would just see her on Facebook. And I used to ask her, why are you on Facebook? Every time I'm seeing you on Facebook. And one time I felt like I would pick that phone and I hit it on the wall because I didn't understand. Then she told me, Mom, you know what? Because she knew what I would be interested in. She quickly told me, you know what, Mom? Facebook is very good. I started telling me, how is it good? I'm only seeing you on the phone. So me, Mom, imagine I've been marketing some things that I've been making to sell online. Then I asked her what is online. You can imagine. And then she told me that we can use Facebook to market our business. And from there, she started teaching me how to do it. And from that time, I have never turned back. So how you use social media is what is important. And don't forget, anything you throw or put in social media will remain permanent. So make something which is good or which is professional on social media. And if you know, you listener that is listening to me now, there's something that you have put on social media that can defame you, that can make you not get that promotion, that can make you not get that business. Please, after this, go and delete. Make sure that everything on social media about you is clean. Because when people hear about Beryl Uza, what do? They go, they type Beryl Uza. They see, who is she? What has she done? As there's someone else who also told me, they go, they search and see scandal of Sarah Karingi. They check and see. If there's no scandal, they know, oh, he's the right person that I can work with. So let us be very careful what we put on social media. Then make use of technology. How are you using technology? You can see what has happened with COVID-19, and I thank God for even this COVID-19 when people are complaining. It has made many people to learn how to use Zoom. Me, I didn't know what Zoom was. I didn't know it's called, was it Google Teams or whatever it was, it is. But today I've come to learn how to use this. I was just asking Beryl, how do I connect? And she quickly told me what I need to do. I thought it was very hard because with my PA, I always accompany my PA. She accompanies me wherever I'm going. But today she told me, I'm sorry, I can't be able to come and help you. So I had to learn. So with technology, we can achieve a lot. I've been able to go to Facebook. I've been able to go to WhatsApp groups. Even WhatsApp groups, you can do a lot of business. You can ask questions there. You can connect people there. You can promote one another there. And I've created quite a number of groups to help young people to do a lot of business. I don't actually transact a lot in those groups, but I formed those groups to help young people to grow because I realized then there's so much on social media because my heart is for the young people and it's in the young people. Then what questions do you ask during a networking question? I mean, during a networking event. Many times we go to network, and when you go to network, it's like, now I've met this person, now what do I ask her? There are certain questions that we should never ask in a networking forum. And some of the questions that we need to ask are, what do you like most about what you do? You say for example, you've gone, you've met someone, and then you have given this beautiful smile, and you are there, you are like, now, what next? What do I ask? I can't ask her about her personal life. Never ask someone about their personal lives. Are you married? Or how many children do you have? Or then those parts, what is your religion? Are you a Christian? Or are you a Muslim? Or are you a Buddhist? Let us never ask people such questions because you see they are very sensitive, or which is a political party. We should avoid doing that. So what questions you'd like to, or we should ask is, after you start a conversation is, hi, how are you? My name is XYZ, and I come from Nairobi. Don't even say that I come from central Kenya, or I'm a Kikuyu, or I'm a Kamba, I'm a what. That is not important. Just tell them that I come from Nairobi, or I come from Thika, or I come from Kisumu, or I work in Kisumu. But don't tell them that, you see, my name is Sarah Karingi from this particular place. Don't, telling people that is like, and you know how sensitive we are when it comes to the places where we come from. So that is not important. So what do you like most about what you do? Because someone will tell you that, oh, and people like telling their stories. They will tell you the names of their business, how they started, why they started, the challenges they faced, and how they overcame. And when you ask such questions, you also start picking a few things. You learn from this person how you can also run your business. Then what is your target market? The reason why you ask someone what their target market is, you'll be able to know probably the moment you get to know their market, you can be able to connect them to that market. Then what challenges do you encounter in your business? Of course, right now, we can see what is happening. COVID-19 has hit almost every business except a few. And someone will come and tell you, the challenges I'm facing right now, I have been doing events, and I had so many weddings that I had arranged to do, but now I'm not going to be able to do, I have not been able to do anything because of COVID-19. So then how do you then yourself come up with an idea that can help that person? I remember telling one of my friends, why don't you just probably think of doing, say, gifts? She was doing events. Start a small business of doing very beautiful gifts, and then maybe you can start selling. And she has started giving gifts even when we are facing this problem. And she has been able to make some money, and she's happy about it. And then from there, I told her, start training those people who do events, because we are very good in events. Start training people on events, and maybe you can make some little money. And she has been doing it, and she's very happy about it. So I think you just need to learn that the challenges that people face, because you could be the solution to these challenges. Then what's new in your industry or business? Why do you like to know what is new in this business? This person will tell you what is new. Maybe someone can tell you that right now, I'm in the technology space, and Zoom is much better than ABC, maybe any other type of presenting a webinar or anything, maybe some training. So that is, and then someone will teach you maybe how they are doing Zoom meetings if you don't know how to use Zoom or what Zoom is. Then how can I help you in your business? You can imagine coming to me and telling me, hey, Sarah, tell me, how can I help you in your business? You can imagine how happy I will be, yeah? You're asking me how you can help me. I will tell you now, you know what? I've been looking for developers. I've been looking for contractors. I've been looking for quantity surveyors. And maybe there you are. We have a very good developer. And this developer will come and buy things from me. You can imagine how good I will feel. So next time when you come to me, I'll be like, yeah, by the way, I am also ready to help you to do or grow your business. Or maybe it's a career. I've been looking for employment in, say, Telecom Kenya or Safaricom. And I am there. You can imagine maybe the CEO is a friend of mine. I've been meeting him in one of the clubs, and I would quickly make an arrangement to come and meet this man, and then you get some business or get that connection. So networking is very good. It exposes us to and lifts us to levels that we can't imagine. And that is why it is important always to network. Now, there's this quote I have, it is not what you know, but who you know and who knows you. Now, what this means is in networking, you may know, for example, you know President Kenyatta, he doesn't know you. But when you say it is who you know, how well do you know Sarah Karingi? When you know that she has maybe many networks, you can quickly call her and tell her, Sarah, you know, a friend of mine is looking for XYZ, and then Sarah will connect you with someone that you are looking for. Then if that person knows you, so let people know you as someone who is authentic, someone who can be trusted, someone who is willing to help other people. If I know you are such kind of a person, I will not hesitate to connect you. So let people know you and let them know you was ready to help others. Yeah. And then I have now come to the end of my presentation. If there are any questions, I think Beryl, you can take us through. Otherwise, this is who I am. This is one of the companies that I help people to grow their businesses, say through networking, both online and offline. We consult on business networking. I train people on networking. I do business connections like yesterday, or sometimes in this April this year, I had brought together 50 people to take to Qatar for a one-on-one meeting, and they were supposed to exchange business, and they were supposed also to get people to invest in Kenya, but unfortunately it didn't work. But yesterday we had a 3-hour sit down and connected some from Kenya, Malaysia, India, Japan, and China. Yeah. Then business mentor, I also do business mentorship and conference talks. That is in brief what I do. And so if there are any questions, I think I'll just check and see. Please show the contacts again. Okay. That's my number. The 0714 is my number, and 0702 is the office line. Yeah. Okay, so I can see a question here. Thank you so much for that great presentation. How do you network online as going forward? Social and physical distancing might be I think want to say, he's just asking, how do we connect online? Now, that's a very good question, David Chabeda. How you network online is that you have to connect us with, introduce them, if it's on WhatsApp. What you do is follow up with them, introduce yourself, we are in this common group together, and this is what I do. I would like to know what you do. I would like to have a meeting with you. Maybe you connect on Google Teams, or you connect on the Zoom. Of course, these days there is a Zoom that of course you don't pay for, and then maybe you can engage that person. Or you can ask him to give you an email. Many people have actually connected with me on Messenger. They have inboxed me. They want to know who I am and how I can connect them with my networks. But then I tell them, you see, I can only connect you after I know you. So I try to find out who they are online to see whether they have anything that is, of course, doesn't reflect well of them before I connect them to my friends, because I don't want my name to be put online, because I have to really know the person. And then once I interact with this person, I know who he is. I'm able to connect them online. Yeah. Then there's somebody else here who it has been a very comprehensive presentation. Thank you. Thank you for the great insight. Then how do you balance between visibility and privacy? That's a very good question. It has been asked by Peter. Now, what this means is that you have to, anytime you go out to the market, you don't go naked. And I hope you understand what I mean. You just present what you think should be presented. Now, when we talk of visibility, if it's a business, you have to make sure that the products that you are selling or you are showing, or if it is your business, have a logo, have a very good signage, one that can be seen during the day, at night. Then the visibility can also be online, have a good website where you have been able to, it has to be very professional, shows the product or the services that you offer. What value do you give? That is what needs to go online. If it is on a building, assuming that you are operating from a building, then of course you need to have a very good signage showing your website, showing your contacts, that's it. So if it is visibility, what I mean by visibility and privacy, of course privacy, you don't have to tell us things about your private life, but if it is a business, of course you want people to know all the things that you do, and that is why a website is very important. Then go to different online platforms, go to LinkedIn, I've seen also many people on Instagram, go to Instagram. In fact, Instagram has become a very good platform to market your product. Yeah. So just have to about what you just do, like what Safaricom does. They are everywhere, but of course, there are those private things that, of course, everybody has their own privacy. So protect your privacy. Yeah. I don't know whether I've answered all the questions, Beryl.
I do have some questions. And okay. Yeah, so someone asked, if say I want to meet the CEO of KCB, what should I do? I don't want to be blocked by his secretary and other people.
Okay, now number one, what you can do is first of all look for them online. See where they go. At times you'll be able to see, say like there's some people I have met in some forums, like I have seen some people at different clubs. Find out who their friends are. Then the moment you know where their friends are, you might find maybe or even where they go to church. When you are in church and maybe you know they go to CITAM, you can purpose to go to CITAM. Like I said, I made some effort to go and see the founder of Business Network International. You can imagine such kind of an investment. But after that, I was able to do a lot for that man. Today, he can send me an email. I send him an email, and he's very at a very high level. Simply because I wanted to see him, I realized I came to learn online that he was going to be in that particular cruise ship. So I went to the American embassy. I booked. I went for a visa, which I failed to get 3 times. So I went the first month, I didn't get. Second time, I never got. Third time, I never got. And the 4th time, I went there and they gave me that visa. And after that, I went and I was able to see him. But if I went to his office, definitely I would have been blocked and told you, how can you come all the way from Kenya to come and see this American? But I had to be wise, is knowing where to find them. So when I came to get to know that it was going to be that cruise ship, I went there. So if it is maybe you want to see the CEO of KCB, find out what his networks are. Where does he go to church? Or where does he go for, say it is a certain club, find out maybe different clubs in Kenya. If it is, for example, the not United, but say golf clubs. Find out from those people whether he goes to that golf club. You find someone telling you, yes, he goes to that golf club. Or go to find out someone who is in KCB. They'll be able to know maybe with him after maybe getting to know who his friends are. It takes time, but whatever you want, you will always get it. I hope I have answered.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much. And someone asked, oh, okay, so this is very interesting. So how do you control your anger when you're leaving an organization where you've been treated poorly?
Sorry?
How do you control your anger? I'm guessing, someone is saying they're leaving an organization and they've been treated really poorly and they're really feeling badly about it, but they're leaving now. So what do they do? So it doesn't show.
Okay. Sorry. There's something we call emotional intelligence. Let me just tell you a small story of what happened to me one time. And I know people look at me, some of them ask me, Sarah, really, is that what happened? I was one time working for the Ministry of Finance, and I remember that time I worked for very many years. I never got any promotion. And people would come, I would train them, then they come, they overtake me, they would just surpass me, they get promoted, and I wouldn't get promoted. But anytime I was given work, I would always work. And it came to a point where one of the seniors came and he realized that I had worked in a certain department for very long. And then he called me to his office and asked me, Sarah, how come you have been here for so long? Because I never used to for promotion. I never used to do the weird things that people do. So I decided it used to hurt me. But anytime I was given work, I would work. So it came to a time where even when I was leaving, I was then taken to Kenya Revenue Authority. I was taken because of my work. So even when you feel that you are getting so angry, even when you are treated badly, as a human being, you feel bad, but always serve. Serve with dedication. Don't show any anger. Don't show negative emotions. Because you see, even those people who do that, they do not know they are growing you. So if you have to live well, live with good, and never revenge. I never revenge on anybody because I remember one time when I quit, when I left I had to leave because my husband fell sick. I had to resign. I was told that I got a letter from the Commissioner General, and the letter read, it was a commendation letter, and he stated that anytime I feel like going back for employment, they would employ me. Why? Because I would serve with total dedication. Total dedication. I would work, I would get to work very early, I would leave a little bit late. Of course, I was not being paid for extra work, but I worked with total dedication. So you can imagine someone giving you a commendable letter because of working so well. No hiccups at work. Of course, not that I had many friends, but I worked with total dedication. So I never left. Even the people who used to harass me or never used to promote me, they would see me and see me that I was always smiling and I was happy. So one of them got sacked one time. And you can imagine, he came to me, he found me seated somewhere in a restaurant. He walked over to me. He had been sacked because, of course, he was involved in something that, of course, was not right or it was not good. And he told me, Sarah, I feel so bad that I never promoted you. You can imagine a boss, someone who is much senior than you, coming to apologize to tell you how sorry they were that you are supposed to get a promotion. You go for an interview, you get between 75% and 80%, but the people who are getting the promotion are they were scoring 40% and 45%. But I never left and even made them feel, I never felt bad about it because it's not me who was promoting them. But I thank God because today, even when I left, I'm still friends with those people and I never revenge. So never take revenge, never leave a place with so much anger because I know God always has a space for you out there.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you for that, Sarah. So the last one I have is I've been looking for a job and have been following up with my friends for opportunities, but now they won't pick up my calls. What am I doing wrong?
Wow, that's a very good question. There's a time and a certain girl came to see me and she was crying because she used to get promoted and she was also doing very well. And her friends, she would call her friends and her friends would not answer her. Then she wondered why. She had been friends for many times, but somehow luck just fell on her because she would get promotion and after another promotion. And then her husband was also doing very well in business. So they were doing very well. So they moved from one estate to another estate. Then she called me, she was very worried and she called me and told me she would like to come and see me. So when she came to me, she told me, Sarah, and she was actually crying. I have 4 friends and none of them want to see me whatsoever. So I asked her why. Next to us was a tree. And this tree had leaves and flowers. Then I told her to look up. She looked at that tree. Then I asked her, do you see this tree? Yes. What can you see? I can see branches. What else do you see? Beautiful flowers. What can you see else? Can you see? She told me she can see some budding, some birds coming out of the tree. Then I asked her, look down. She looked down and then she told me what she could see were dead leaves and dead flowers. Then I told her, idea, life is like that. Look at this tree, you are the tree. You see the tree, it does not detach the leaves from itself, but the leaves have decided to detach themselves from the tree because their time has come to detach themselves from the tree. So in that case, what this means is that when people don't even want to talk to you, or when maybe they are jealous about you, you don't have to really be worried. Go out and look for new friends because there are always people who will be willing to be your friends at that time. So let it not really worry you. I hope with that, it could be like a parable, but I hope you understand what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. And maybe, I was thinking in terms of what you had said, maybe they have been constantly asking their friends for, is there an opportunity? Is there an opportunity? And, it's gotten to a place where they just feel like every time this person calls me, I know that's the only thing they want.
Yes.
So that could also have offended them.
Okay, so now yes, thank you so much, Beryl, and thank you for that question again. Now, what I would advise you to do is, as I've told you my story, what I did that time, I tried my best. I used to work and I never used to get any promotion. And of course, people are also laughing at me. Now, what usually happens is there are some friends who, we call them friends, but really, who is a friend? A friend indeed is a friend, a friend indeed is a friend indeed. So it means if someone really cares about you, they want to lift you, if it means, but not pressing you down, if they don't give you that, help you to connect, maybe for a promotion or for a business or for opportunities, those are not friends. Now start looking for people outside that scope. Look for people who are doing maybe something similar. Find out if they can help you. If they cannot help you, look for a mentor. Look for a mentor. Like I have very good connections. Look for me. Tell me, Sarah, I need this. And if I'll be able to connect you, I'll go up the mountains to connect you to those people. Because anytime you want something, even in church, there are some people you look at, or in a mosque, you look at certain people and see this person I think can help me. And you know what? At times you get help from strangers. There's one friend of mine who was so scared of going to see Mrs. Tabitha Karanja. And I told her, you know what? Just go and see her. And I know where she goes to church. That time I was traveling and I told her to go and see her. And imagine what Tabitha Karanja helped her. So at times we fear to look at the mountains because we think mountains are so big, we cannot be able to climb them. I mean, maybe people who are above us. And at times we think that these people may not be able to help us because either they are doing so well or they have big names. And at times, that's not the case. If anybody comes to me, I'm always ready to listen. So when your friends don't want to help you, forget about them. Start looking for people out there who can support you and who can help you, and your help will come from there. Business was burnt down. My friends, I lost almost each and every. My relatives never came to help me. My immediate relatives also never came to help me. My friends were. I got help. I got help from strangers. They didn't know me, but I told them my story and were willing to hold my hand and take me to my green pastures. So God is waiting for you to be held by somebody, not that friend you think will help you, because they will want you to crash, they want you to lose hope, and they want to destroy you. So don't focus on them. Look for people help outside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Any other question?
I love that.
Oh, you have liked that, eh?
Thank
you. Thank you, Betty. Yeah, that's what the question I can see here. Can you see it? Is it okay to disclose to your business? Can I read it?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Is to disclose to your business colleagues how much your profit is from sales of a product if they ask to know. I think it would be wise for you to just say a percentage of people your personal secrets, because I don't see why someone should ask you how much do you make per bottle of water, or from this particular leaf cake, or from this particular facial product. No. Just give them a percentage. Tell them I make, say, 40% or 30%, but never tell, because you never know, maybe they could be going to KRA to report you because it happens. So it is not really wise for you to tell them how much you are making, not unless if someone is a very, very close friend of yours, very close, someone that you trust. Mm-hmm. Any other question?
Yeah, I don't know if you tackled this since I was disconnected, but Caroline asks, in a career setup, what are the platforms for networking?
In careers, you see, like I have really been mixing a lot with quite a number of people. I talked of golf clubs. Golf clubs you find, or even maybe clubs like Rotary. Rotary is a place where you find career people going there, maybe business people going there, and it is good to go. And after all, you don't even pay so much. Or you go to most clubs, you find different people going to such clubs. Once you go there, start now connecting with people. You can just say hi to someone, just know what they do. And then from there, you can start now, of course, networking with them. So, and before I never used to go from golfing. And the moment I started going there, I got to know very senior people, career people, business people, professional, all kinds of professions, you find them there. So I think I would encourage you people, I know you are young, you are exposed, and never fear to go to such a club. If you are not sure that you'll be allowed in certain clubs, just try to find out maybe from your friends who can take you there and you'll be able to connect with the career people because they are always there.
Mm-hmm. I think
Or
one way that sorry?
Sorry,
No, go
continue.
ahead. I cut you off.
Yeah, or maybe like you go to online. There's someone who asked about online networking. You go online and find out maybe, as I said, like if you go to LinkedIn, I think Beryl, you can even answer this better than me. You go to LinkedIn and find out maybe a certain career. You find people in that group, so you can ask maybe to be added to that group. That way, then you'll be able to network with those people. Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I can share one experience I had when I was younger. I wanted to meet people in tourism, and my first business, this is my second business. So my first business was in marketing and branding. And I had no money, guys. I had no money to do fancy things. So I wanted to break into the tourism sector because it was, I was doing digital marketing and there were very, very, there was a lot of need for that. That was around 2006. So what I did, there was a conference and the conference was around, I think, 80,000 shillings a ticket. I didn't even have a single shilling to my name. So what I did is I reached out to the conference organizers and I told them, look, I would love to volunteer for the conference. All I ask, I can do whatever. All I ask is that you allow me to sit in on the sessions. Yeah. But you need, clerical work, someone to run around in between, etc. You'd be very surprised how many conferences you can get into with that statement. Very surprised. And that's how I was able to meet the CEO of Tamarind. I met the airline CEOs. So let's just say I didn't struggle too much after that. And a lot of opportunities opened up for me. So I think you also have to be creative, recognize the resources that you have. What do you have in your hand? If you don't have money, that's no excuse as to why your business is stagnating or your career is stagnating. You can do so much with what you have. Ask people, don't sit in silence and you're suffering. And people out there who'd like to help you. So I think that's really great. So Sarah, thank you so much for sharing with us. I really appreciate. I think they were just wisdom for living. Honestly, all the things you shared, I can apply so much to just general life, and I really admire your integrity in business. That's a very rare thing nowadays. We don't really applaud integrity as much as we applaud people being famous for not very good reasons. So yeah, so I mean that for me is just wonderful. So, guys, I would really, really love it if you could maybe type in the comment box, what else would you like to learn? I mean, we've covered quite a lot in these sessions. And with the Career Advancement Summit, of course, we were focusing a lot on employed professionals and things that you need to know. And I think our speakers have been so candid. People have really, really given of themselves to share with you a lot about their experiences. But I would like to know what else would you be interested in? Okay, so just type it out in the chat box. Even when we disconnect, I will be able to see it. Yeah, so again, all the recordings will be available next week, at the end of next week. So just wait for that. If we don't have your email, maybe you're watching with other people. I know some people are watching in a group. So if you're watching with other people, I'm going to type out the email address as well. Just send us your details there. Please don't send your details on the chat box. It will get lost. Just send your details to that email address. Yes, so Irene, I hope that answers your question. All the previous sessions are going to be covered in that. Awesome, Shadrach. Yeah, emotional intelligence. Yes, you're thinking that would be very, very important too. Okay. All right. Okay, just keep typing them. I'll take a note of that. Yes, and gosh, guys, I can't believe we have gotten to the very last session of the summit. I want to thank you all. I know you've really shared. People have been registering for a very, very long time, even in the middle of sessions. So thank you so much for sharing the sessions and all of this the people who've been participating in every single way. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to follow up, Wendy. I know you're somewhere here. So Wendy had suggested that we do a session on interviewing. Yes, we have all. I spoke to all the recruiters and they agreed that they would commit to doing that. So look out for that, and we will be sure to invite you guys as well. Yeah, and I just want to wish you all the very best. I mean, take the learnings and actually do something with it. You know, knowledge without action is just what I don't know what that helps you with. You know, yeah, this is not a doctorate class. You know, for just taking in, and even then they still have to produce a paper. So please, use the knowledge that we've given and grow in it. Yes, Sarah. Any parting shots? Anything you would like to maybe add in general?
What I would just like to say is that I would just say what was said by someone, that if you are not networking, you are not working. So in short, if you are not connecting with people, then you are not living a good life, because you see, what in Mali. So work hard, connect with people, be friends. Like now, Beryl, have I ever met you? No.
Nope.
You sent me an email, and now here we are talking like we have known each other for the last 20 years, and I know you are my daughter, you see, but I've never really seen you, but we have connected online. You looked for me, you reached out to me. I had not read my LinkedIn for quite a while. Then I saw and I connected with you, and you requested me, and here I am. So, I mean, you don't have to fear. All you have to do is to connect. So what in Mali, take care of people. Just don't fear to even connect with someone. Just drop them a line. If they don't see, don't feel bad about it. So connect as much as possible, because today we are living in a world of connectivity, and it is so easy. You can connect with people in America. I have so many networks. So in all parts of the world, in America, in Canada, in Egypt, everywhere, I have very many friends, and I have connected with most of them online. So, and I've done some businesses for people out there. And so for me, I don't really feel like if I come to you that I'll not be served, and if you don't serve me, I'll go to the next person. The world today is a world of connectivity, and you people, you already know how to connect, but how to connect is what maybe probably you don't know. Professional connectivity is very important. How do you introduce yourself to someone? Don't start telling someone, like I've seen many people say, Sarah, I'm so and so, I would like you to employ me. When you do that, it's like, surely. And I really liked what Beryl has said, that she offered just to go and serve. And of course, if maybe she wanted that person to help her later on, just she or he would go out of her way to help Beryl. Sometimes it starts from serving someone, doing something for free, even serving in charitable organizations, going to children's homes to support them. When you hear that someone has a foundation, just say, I don't have money, but I offer myself to come and help. And some of these organizations are very big organizations. You find yourself getting employed by even United Nations because you offered yourself to help other people. So that is how it works. Thank you so much, Beryl.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I'm not even going to spoil it by adding anything. I think that's enough. That's the way we should close this session. So everyone, thank you so much. I really wish you a blessed weekend, an introspective one. I really pray that you'll find great value in the information that's been shared. And also, now that you've learned about networking, you should also go and share value with other people. Tell them what you have learned. Once the recordings are out, you can also, I'll send you a link so that you can invite them to be able to see the recordings as well. But yeah, I mean, let's pass it on, basically. Yeah, so thank you all very much and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Yes, and anybody wants to reach out to me and send to me any questions, I'll be able to respond. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, Sarah. Thank you.